I studied Russian history at college, and then I joined the Jewish Museum in London. And it was in the very early days of what was at that stage the Museum of the Jewish East End, subsequently the London Jewish Museum. And it had set it, that organization was founded as a museum of immigrant history, as a modern social history project, in a way in opposition to the old established Jewish museum, which had been existing since the 20s or 30s, which had a fine collection of religious objects and Judaica. And I spent 3 years there, and I spent most of that time working on an exhibition about Yiddish theatre in London, actually, sparked through, obviously, my connection with my great-grandfather. But you know, also focusing on the East End and Anglo-Jewish history. And very little work had been done at that time, and in a way still has yet to be done on Yiddish culture in Britain. It's a small chapter of the bigger picture, but an interesting one nonetheless, and influential in certain key respects. For example, the anarchist and socialist history of the roughly 1880s to First World War period. A lot of the American figures passed through London were active in London. So it's an interesting story. I explored the theatre aspect of it, and that drew me into Yiddish culture more broadly, and I became fascinated from that moment on, really.